a negative way. It's just to tell myself I don't want to become a failure. If I've said I'm going to do something, I don't do it, then I've fallen short. I'm a failure. I've not been a man of my word. So it doesn't always happen, but that's the approach I give, is where I say this, I'm going to win. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Where others, to me, say you got to talk less and just prove it. Silently do it. What do you think about that?
If failure is loud, success has got to be even louder. And I think you got to get loud with you about you and where you want to be. You got to let the atmosphere hear it. You got to let the environment hear it. You got to let the hater hear it, right? You got to let yourself hear it before you expect to receive it and before you expect it to manifest. And so, closed mouths don't get fed on this boulevard. You got to get loud about what it is that you want and what you expect, and then the work ethic has to now meet the language of what it is. When you think about Tom Brady, he said, they asked him what's his favorite Super Bowl. He said the next one. Right. I'm putting it out into the atmosphere. Listen, no, I'm not a fluke. I'm not a one-shot pony. I'm not a one-hit wonder. You're gonna see me over and over and over and over again because, success is equivalent to greatness. And so you got to tap into your own greatness and get loud about it.
Good. Well, I'll give you one of these.
Yeah, there we go. Right there.
Right, you've got to let it happen.
So what do we do?
That's exactly right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, there's another gentleman out there, Gary V. Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah.
So he says something a lot, which is, if you don't expect anything, you'll never be disappointed. And I know what he means, but I take it more literally to where he's like, you know what? You want to not be disappointed. Don't have expectations. Just give. Don't expect. And I have a different quote that's in our office, which says, "When much is given, much is expected." Right? And I challenge to kind of, am I right? Is he right? What is it? If you're out there and saying you're going to do something, or I'm going to provide you with, opportunities others don't have, you need to execute those opportunities. But then there's disappointment if you've given and you haven't received. So, any comments to that philosophy or that thought process?
Yeah, it is kind of a chop wood and carry water type of aspect and mindset. And, you just keep your head down, you just plant, and, if the harvest comes, it comes. I think you do have to couple that mindset with the whole aspect that certain people in your life are assignments. A lot of times we try to make friends assignments, we try to make associates assignments, we want advisors to be friends, but I think there are certain people who are assignments in your life, and when you have the mindset to impact, to empower, to enhance, to cultivate, you have to understand that you may not always get it back in the same way that you gave it. I may not get it back if I planted this particular arena from this particular person. They may not be able to pay it forward back to me because what I may be, they may have the intent but not the extent. And so I have to understand that it may come in a different space at a different time from a different person, and I have to be okay with that, even in a different year. But it's going to come back to me. It is a law of sowing and reaping. I can't just put out good and it not return back to me. Right? And so we just can't always expect it in the same way. Sometimes you just have to expect the unexpected, and it's just going to happen in his own time. But I have to keep doing good, even though people may not always treat me good.
So again, that cliche of you do good and you'll do well. I understand that, and I do certainly the same way that just be a giver and you'll receive blessings, whether it's directly or indirectly, absolutely. But again, when you go back to grit, you go back to hard work, you go back to what you're doing and what you're trying to accomplish, whether it's overcoming an illness, whether it's building a business, whether it's graduating at school, whether it's mending a broken relationship, you have to put in that work. And when you put it in, I guess the other person may not, reciprocate, but I guess at some point, somebody's got to be held accountable. I guess, right? And so I don't know, maybe that's a struggle that I have, that it's hard to just, hey, maybe they won't come back the way you want. Maybe that they won't return your phone call. You've written them letters, you've tried to reach out, they just keep giving you the middle finger. Just let it go. Yeah. It's kind of hard to let it go sometimes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's tough. And I've internalized it as no means new opportunity. Rejection is direction. Rejection is redirection. They're going to have to embrace you one day or the other. It may not necessarily be in the time frame that you specifically expected, but if you keep working hard, if you keep focusing on your purpose, if you keep following the route to your destiny, those same haters are going to become cheerleaders. I've seen it happen time and time again.
Yeah.
It never fails.
Yeah. And for all of our younger viewers and our younger listeners, again, this could be for anyone, but we're talking to you. Like, you know, if you're a teenager in your young 20s, and heck, even if you're in your 30s and something's going on, listen to what Dr. Eddie says. Seriously, turn it into an opportunity.
Yeah.
Turn that lemon into lemonade. That's the only one I got. I go,
No. You know
that's
bars. That's bars. You got it.
So let's talk about what happened recently, and we're going to come back to a few more things. But the TEDx, the TED Talk that happened here in Metro Detroit recently, and so I was not able to be there, but I heard about it, and so maybe share that experience, share what you talked about, what your topic was, and what you shared, and then what you thought of the whole event and all that goes with it.
Yes, TEDx was absolutely phenomenal. To have a collection of inventive thinkers and leaders, people who just want to push the envelope and make you think outside of the box. I was so blessed and honored to be on that stage. It felt like it was something that was so elusive to me, like I would never get the opportunity. But it was on my list quietly for years, and I just decided to, say, all right, I want to go after it. If it happens, it happens. I knew I had a powerful story to share, and I'm just grateful to be selected with so many, leaders and innovators who took that stage and grabbed life by the horns. And so as I was on the stage, I was sharing really about the work that I do, especially with mentoring and mentoring in cancer and overcoming that. And it was called The Pandemic of Illiteracy. The TED Talk should be coming out very, very soon after the editing process and all of that. And you talk about the preparation to get on that stage. Everybody just sees you in the moment. But how you prepare for an 8-minute speech, and mine was about 7 minutes, 40 seconds, as long as I'm under the time, was what it was all about. I might have practiced my speech about 800 times for 8 minutes. You think about it's like Michael Jordan doing this turnaround jump shot, fade away, over and over and over again. You weren't with me when I was shooting at the gym. You didn't see the practice. You just saw the performance. And so it was really going through the speech with a fine-tooth comb. You can't bring any notes. That's one of the 10 commandments. You have to be in the moment. It should be electrifying. It should be engaging with the audience. And so it made me a better speaker. It made me more receptive and more responsive to the process of preparation to deliver something that's going to make people think. It's going to give them an aha moment. And then that's going to make them go out to their community and make some changes.
Fantastic. Yeah. So it'll be out soon?
Yeah, it should be out soon. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. What's next for you in that regard? I mean, is there something after TEDx? What do you have your eye on, whether it's quietly or here, share, give us a little nugget?
Well, I do have to do another book. I know that. I got to keep the ball rolling on that. So 2024 is where I'll be looking at it. I also am going to be engaging and rolling my sleeves back up to prepare for my conference that I've been doing. I just started it last year. Well, I'm sorry, I just started it just this year. August of 2023 is called
Access Identity Conference. Yes, I just got word of that.
Yes,
so talk about that. Fantastic.
Access Identity Conference is a conference that I've been always wanting to do. I've always wanted to do a conference. I didn't know what the name of it was going to be, but I wanted to gather people and really create change, to really speak life into leaders and to really push people into their purpose and into their greatness. And if it wasn't for the Access, this book, Identity, was the precursor for the Access Identity Conference. And, it's that question. So somebody's waiting for you to become who you are so they can become what they're supposed to be. How much longer will you make them wait? And I began to just promote it. And to my surprise, one is that it was jam-packed, it was packed out, but it's also that we had registrants and attendees from 24 states and 13 countries. And it was just my first conference. So it was a mind-blowing experience when you get people from Africa, when you get people from Portugal and places in Paris and London, especially throughout the United States. It was just a wonderful experience and one of my crowning moments in my life. And so I gotta do it again. Gotta do it again.
You said it was in August this year, so
Right.
it'll probably be August every year.
Yeah.
And again, you're gonna be preparing now, so you're already setting it up for a year from now, basically,
Yeah.
9-10 months from now, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And is it here in town, and how many days is the conference, and kind of what's the format, and what happens?
Yeah, here in town, this year's format, it was a one-day conference. It was on a Saturday, and what we had a multiplicity of speakers, whether it's panel discussions, whether it was people speaking on their purpose and their story, and really how they go from here to there, and how they were able to bounce back in business and economic development and relationships. And so this year's upcoming conference is going to be a 2-day conference. So each year we'll
Double
expand it. Yeah. Maybe the year after be 3-day, but it left people wanting more. People saying, "Wow, I need more time. I need another day. When are you gonna do the next conference?" I'm like, I'm just coming off the stage 3 minutes. This conference ain't been over yet, and they want more. And so that's a beautiful thing to leave people wanting more. And so we're gonna give them more. Give them more than they bargained for.
2024.
2020.
Give 'em more.
There we go.
Right?
There we go. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
More in 2024. That's
More
what
in
it is.
2024.
That's it.
On that same note, let's talk about the Eagles Academy. That
Yeah.
I don't know. I know it's not the same thing, but probably has some similarities. So that's something that Tom Graffor and I have talked about. Again, he's one of our senior wealth advisors at Great Lakes Wealth, and we appreciate him every single day, but certainly for connecting us.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the Eagles Academy.
Yeah, and Tom Graffor give us more.
Give him more. Tom Graffor. We'll say that at the office every day. He's gonna say, "What about 2025?"
Right. With the Eagles Academy, it's really a gathering of leaders who are going to be accountable to each other, and we talk about steps on how to soar into success and purpose, and what does success look like beyond just money. What about your mentality? Beyond just claim and your big name. How are you in your household? How are you in your home? What about your mother wounds and your father wounds and the things that you need to heal from? Personal success that you can't necessarily quantify with a dollar, but it's your dreams, your determination. And then how does that merge and connect on the road to purpose as well? And so I really believe, if you get all that right, your ideas will increase, your impact, your influence, and your income will go up as a result. And so we touch on those specific areas. I do it every single week where I teach class or I bring in other speakers and leaders in the community to talk about their journey, to share with people those steps and tools for success and purpose. We do it every single Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. People can join us by registering at theeaglesacademy.com. And so it's a really powerful time of networking as well, community development. We have a private Facebook community. We've got learn at your own pace types of teachings and trainings and tutorials in our video portal as well. So it's really an online community that has really brought a lot of change for some people.
So it's in person and it's weekly on Wednesday evenings?
Well, it's all online. I'm
Online.
teaching
Okay, got
via
it.
Zoom.
Okay.
Yep, and so people can just chime in wherever they are. I mean, we have people who are as far-reaching as London who are part of our academy community. And so they all just connect on a link that I give them through Zoom, and I'm teaching and I'm trying to make it interactive and personable. And we're laughing, we're crying, we're taking notes, we're gathering information, we're exchanging ideas, because I don't come in having it knowing all the information. I believe a know-it-all really knows nothing at all. And so I love to learn as I teach.
How long is it each week?
7:30 p.m. to about 9 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And URL, the website for that is
theeaglesacademy.com.
eaglesacademy.com. And again, in case I forget towards the end, tell us the website. I think it's your name, but
Yeah.
tell us the website where we can get the book Identity, learn about all these other fantastic programs and resources you've come up with.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I like to say the revolution not only be televised, it'll be digitized. So
Okay.
people can go to EddieConnor.com, EddieConnor.com. And then also my books are available on that website, but also on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. They're ebooks, audiobooks, hard copy as well. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Connect with me there at EddieConnorJr also.
Get it, check it out for sure, do all that. Well, we're going to transition to a part of the show that's my favorite, Dr. Eddie.
Yeah.
And everybody who's been watching or listening knows that this